Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be walking you through a complete C# WPF project I built called the Cybersecurity Awareness Chatbot. This application was built as part of my final practical assessment, and it focuses on educating users about cybersecurity using interactive features like a quiz game, task assistant, natural language processing simulation, also known as NLP, and a persistent activity log. I'll explain the logic behind each feature, the C# methods I used, and how they all work together in a modern and professional GUI interface. So the first part that we'll look at is the project structure and main navigation. Let's start with the structure. The app uses WPF with XAML for GUI layout and C# for logic. It's divided into four main features: chatbot Q&A, which is the chatbot itself, the quiz game, task manager, and activity log. Navigation is handled from the main window XAML, which this is my main window XAML file, and this manages all the buttons that are within all the other pages within the application. Navigation is handled from the main window XML, which uses a frame to display pages dynamically. This keeps the interface smooth and modular. Each top navigation button routes to a specific page using a method called showPage, which replaces the content of the main frame. I also made sure to keep everything within the main window frame without launching new windows. It keeps the user experience consistent. The layout uses grid and stack panel controls for responsiveness. I customized the buttons with hover effects and styles for a modern look using Dodger Blue as the base theme. Now the main window XML file, which I'll show you now, is this one over here, and as you can see, that is what my home page looks like, my main window, with all the buttons like that I mentioned. Then to just show you that I use stack panels and windows, there the stack panels are, and these are all the buttons on the top of the page, and then these buttons are for closing and minimizing the application, and then as well as the buttons in the main page, which are these over here, and I set those in another stack panel, these buttons over here. Okay, and then moving on, we get to the chatbot Q&A with NLP and definitions. Now let's move on to the chatbots. This page uses a vertical chat layout where messages from the bot and user appear dynamically. I use text block controls inside a stack panel to stimulate chat bubbles, which is these over here, the text blocks and the stack panels that I've shown you. The chatbot asks the user for their name and stores it in a shared variable in main window, and the main window is over here, and that's over here. I use this to personalize all responses. For logic, I rely on dictionaries for keyword-based responses and definitions. General responses handles things like how are you or what is your name. Definitions uses key terms like password, phishing, or VPN and responds with formal explanations. I use string.contains, open quotation mark, close quotation mark for basic NLP. This stimulates natural language understanding without any AI libraries. The logic checks for phrases like add task, remind me, or start quiz and reacts accordingly. And this we can find over here in the chatbot Q&A.cs file. This is where all the methods are stored and all the if statements. And the reason why I put all these methods into just one class is because so that I know where everything is, whereas I find it a little bit confusing when I have multiple classes for one page. So these are all the dictionaries that store the information that the chatbot uses when answering to a user's questions. And an example of this is if the input contains add task to enable two-factor authentication, the app logs that task and then asks if the user wants a reminder. So that I'll show you at the end when I show you what the code can do. The next thing we're going to look at is the task manager with reminders and edit delete. This page lets the user create tasks with a title, description, and optional reminder. Why did I use list view? It binds well to the task data and supports dynamic UI templates for each task, including edit and delete buttons. Tasks are stored in a shared list in main window to persist between tabs. Task item is a simple class with properties like title, description, reminder, and is completed. When a task is edited, the original is removed from the list and the fields are pre-filled so the user can update it. I log every action like task edited or reminder set with timestamps. By keeping all task logic in a central list, I ensure no tasks disappear when you change tabs. So if we want to have a look at the task manager XML CS files over here, and these are all the methods that I use within that page. The add task button, update task list, delete task, click, complete task, click. These are all for all the buttons. And then we can look at the task manager XAML file, and this is what the page would look like. And then all the XML involved with that page is over here. So these are all the buttons, and then I've used text blocks and stack panels to fit within the window that I have for all the pages. And then the next thing we're going to look at is the quiz game with feedback and scoring. Now for the quiz game, this is a big highlight. The game starts from a custom intro panel with a start button. When the game begins, 10 questions are randomly selected from a pool of 20 using order by RNG range.next method. Each question is loaded dynamically using radio button controls for answer choices. When the user clicks next, the app compares the selected answer with the correct index and shows a message box. Either, if it is correct, it shows a correct text box, and if the answer is wrong, it shows incorrect and shows the correct answer. Score is updated, and at the end, a result message is shown like "You're a cybersecurity wizard" or "Keep practicing." All quiz attempts are logged to the activity list with timestamps. So if we go to the game XML file, this is what the page looks like, with the start button and a return home feature. And then we can look at the XML, the code that's involved with that page design. So these are all the buttons. These are buttons over here, and these are for when the game started. So you have an option to end the game, and then it gives you a total score of where you ended off, or you can exit the game and it will take you back to the home screen. The next button will go to the next question, and then these text blocks over here are just for the writing on the start page. And then these are the buttons for start game and return to home page if you don't want to play the game. The next thing we're going to look at is activity log with time-stamped actions. Lastly, the activity log page shows the last 10 actions taken, tasks added, quiz results, NLP actions, etc. I used a list box to display log entries. Each log entry includes a timestamp formatted with date, time, .now. Important fact to know is I made sure that clearing logs does not remove any active task. So if there are any active tasks, it won't be cleared when clear log is pressed. The log is accessible via the chatbot using phrases like "What have you done for me?" or "Show activity log." It's all stored in the activity log list in main window. So if we go back to the main window, we can see where this is stored. And that's stored over here. Task Manager, click. If we go to the game, to the chatbot itself, I'll show you where the code is for that, to clear logs. That's this one over here. So if we scroll down, and then as you can see, this is the method that I use, if statement, if the user asks about quiz or anything about start quiz, a game will start. And then if we look at clear logs, this is the if statement that I use for if anything's asked about activity logs or what have you done, and then it shows the results. The next thing we're going to look at is the final touches and motivations to the project. Some final points I want to highlight: the color feedback. Chat messages are shown with different background colors, random for the bot and blue for the user. The user's responses will always show in blue, and the chatbot will be in multiple different colors. The modern UI that I used are styled buttons, smooth transitions, and modular pages make the app intuitive. Persistent state. By storing data in main window, I ensure users don't lose progress between tabs. And simple NLP, even without using external AI tools, string manipulation and dictionaries, gave me flexible user input detection. This app is now a fully interactive educational tool, and most importantly, it's scalable. I can easily add new questions, tasks, or definitions where needed. Thanks for watching this part of the video. The next thing I'm going to be showing you is the chatbot itself. So we're just going to hit run. And this is the application that I've created. So we've got buttons on the top, which is for ease of access to from different pages, and you'll see why in a moment, that's why I included those there. Then we've got buttons over here just so that the users can see clearly what options they have within the application itself. And then this is just a little bit telling the user about what this app can do. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to access the chatbot Q&A. And this is the chatbot itself, and we're going to click on that.
Welcome to the Cybersecurity Awareness Chatbot. Please follow the prompts so I can assist you with specific questions you have regarding cybersecurity.
So as you can see, I've got the welcome sound playing so that it greets the user for more friendly, more personal touch. And then as you can see, the first thing it asks is for the name, so we're going to enter our name in here. Go enter our name, and then it will respond. So as you can see, blue is for user, so so all the user input returns in blue color, and then all the other inputs show in different colors. So these over here are the output that the bot is giving us, and it says hello by the name of what the user's name is. So hello Richard, welcome to the Cybersecurity Awareness Chatbot. I'm here to help you stay safe online. Ask me questions about password safety, phishing, safe browsing, and more. Okay, and then the first thing we're going to do is basic NLP integration. So we're going to ask the chatbot what is a password, and then this should give us a definition. So as you can see, the password definition is given, and that's over here, as you can see. And then if I ask it another definition, like what is phishing, it gives us another definition. But then if I ask the chatbot to tell me more, it should give tips about phishing. So you can hit enter, or you can tap on send, and then as you can see, it's given us a response on a tip on phishing. If I ask it to tell me more, again, it should give another response or tip about phishing. So as you can see, it's a different tip on phishing, and I've made this and set the method so that in the dictionary it uses different responses every single time that the user prompts something. Then the next thing we're going to look at is the emotions that the chatbot can detect, so the sentiment detections. And I'm going to do this by telling the chatbot that I am happy about cyber security. So as you can see, it gives a response. I'm glad to hear that, Richard. Let's keep that positive energy going while we learn about cybersecurity. And you can tell the chatbot if you're unhappy or sad or anything like that. There is a dictionary that covers all of those responses. The next thing we're going to look at is accessing the game. So if we access the game, we're going to go start quiz. So we tell the chatbot to start the quiz, and then we're going to push enter, and it should go to the chatbot game. As you can see, it goes to the chatbot game when we hit enter, and then I've put a return home button so that it's easy for the user just to return to where they came from, or they can just tap, as you can see at the top of the page with the tab, you can click any of these buttons at the top, so then you can also get back to the home page or go to whatever tab that you want to, instead of having to go back to the home page and then to any of those tabs. So we're going to quickly start the game, and as you can see, the game started. There's a live score result at the top of the page, and then it's just a basic setup. Then we've got the buttons on the bottom, end game, which ends the games and gives you your results of where you ended off, and then we can push exit to go back to the home screen. So there are 20 questions, and the quiz selects randomly 10 questions every single time the game is played. So for the first question, we're going to select an answer. It's a multiple choice, which is a sign of a phishing email, and then we're going to put suspicious links. So as you can see, the next button is then highlighted because one of the answers is selected, and then we're going to hit next. And then as you can see, it says that the answer is incorrect, and it tells us the correct answer, which is all of the above. Then it goes to the next question, and it says, what is a VPN? So a VPN, we know, is a virus protection network, a security question, a virtual private network, and it is this one, a virtual private network. So we're going to hit next, and as you can see, the answer is correct, so we push OK, and then it goes to the next question. If we want to end the game, we're going to push end game, and we say yes, we want to end the game, and then it gives us a final score of where we ended off. So because I only did 2 questions and I got the one right, it said that I got 1 out of 10, and it says keep practicing and stay safe online. If we had to continue the game and answer all 10 questions, no matter if we get them wrong or right, it will tell us that we must keep practicing if the score is low, and if the score is 10 out of 10, then it will tell us that we are a cybersecurity wizard and that we must continue learning. So now we're going to exit the game, and we're going to go back to the chatbot itself, and then as you can see, the chatbot is cleared and it's remembered us. So it tells us, welcome back, Richard. You can continue where you left off or ask something new. So if we want to continue where we left off, we just say, tell me more, and then it will tell us a tip on phishing, so we know where we left off. The next thing I'm going to show you is accessing the task manager, or adding a task to the task manager. So we're going to tell the chatbot, add a task called enable two-factor authentication, and then we're going to enter, and then as you can see, the bot replies with the output message and says task added, called enable two-factor authentication, and then it asks us would we like to set a reminder, and then we do want to set a reminder, so we'll tell the chatbot to set a reminder to enable two-factor authentication, and then we're going to hit enter, and then as you can see, the bot replies with a reminder has been set, I'll remind you later about your task. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to see the chatbot logs. So we're going to ask the chatbot, what have you done, and see what that replies with. So as you can see, the chatbot gives a time and a date of of all the logs that we have completed, all the activity that has been completed. So as you can see on the top, it says here's a summary of recent actions, and then it tells it time by date and time, and then it tells us that we had the correct answer for question 2, what is a VPN in the game, and then it also tells us that we completed the quiz at a certain time, and it tells us our score, and then it tells us that we added a task called enable two-factor authentication, and a reminder was set for your task. Okay, now we've got all those logs sorted, and then the next thing we're going to do is we're gonna exit the chatbot. Okay, you're going to exit the chatbot, so we'll go back to home, and then we've been in the chatbot game, and then we're going to go to the task manager, and here we can add a task. So for example, I want to call the task title enable two-factor authentication. Description is to enable two-factor authentication tomorrow morning. Okay, that's our task description, and then we're going to select a date on when that task has to be completed by, so we're going to put the next day, and we're going to say add task. So as you can see, the task is added. It gives us the title, the description of what we need to do, and a reminder is set for tomorrow. And then when we want to enter that, when we want to edit that task specifically, we'll click on this little button over here for edit. So we're going to edit, and it will take us back to where you fill in the information, and here you can change the date of the task, so we'll change it to 29th, and then these you can also change. So I'll change these as well. Study for maths test, we'll just use this as an example, and then over here we'll say maths, and then what description, and then we'll add it again, and then as you can see, the task has been edited according to what details, titles, descriptions, and dates I've set. Then if we want to mark that the task has been completed, we can mark that we can mark complete, and we can click on complete. So we complete that task, and you can see it strikes out that task, as you can see over here. Then if we want to delete a task, excuse me, if you want to delete a task, we just click on this button, delete, and as you can see, the task disappears. Then when we go to the chatbot logs, we can see exactly what we've done. So as you can see over here, I added a two-factor authentication task, then I edited the task, and then that task was added again, which was called maths, and then I marked the task complete, and then we, as you can see, we deleted the task. And then if we say clear logs, and we say yes, it clears everything that's not relating to tasks. So all the tasks will show still over here. As you can see, the chatbot logs, task logs are preserved. So everything, all the tasks we keep, and then the game activity and everything that we asked in the chatbot is cleared. So we can return home now, and then this is back to the home page. I added another feature so that at this picture in the top title bar, tab bar, we can click on that and it will take us home. So for example, if I click chatbot game, and then you don't have to click return home, you can click return home and it'll take you home, or you can click home at the top over here. But then I've also added this feature that you can just click this little picture at the top of the tab, and that will also take you home. Anyways, that's the final part of this walkthrough video, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope this helped you out. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you found this useful or are building something similar, let me know in the comments. Feel free to explore the code yourself. Links are below. Remember, cybersecurity awareness isn't just a topic, it's a habit, and this chatbot helps build it interactively. Subscribe for more development breakdowns and walkthroughs, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.